guys, welcome back. Today we are in New Zealand
and we're going to be showing you everything we've been getting up to recently, starting in Dunedin. This is St Kilda Beach, which is in Dunedin. It was a lovely beach. There wasn't really a lot going on there because it was not the warmest. Water isn't that warm at that beach, but it was a lovely beach. But there were no lifeguards that day because it was a weekday and it wasn't really peak season. It was starting to cool off a little bit now in New Zealand at this point because this was in February. Yeah, lovely beach.
And next is the Toitu Museum. And the cool thing about this museum is that it's free entry, even for tourists. Most museums in New Zealand you have to pay as a tourist, which is really annoying as it's free for residents. And here we're playing a little game. It was the first ever video game. And right here, the run unfortunately I died, but off camera I did actually make it all the way. And Cara did not. About 5 seconds top she lasted, and she had a couple goes. So it looks simple, but harder than it looks. And then Baldwin Street. This is the official Guinness World's Steepest Road. Dunedin is a little known place, but it has some cool things like this. And it's incredibly steep, 28% average. If you know how that is, that's incredibly steep, and it goes on for quite a while. And what we didn't realise about this is the views at the top are quite amazing. Got lucky with a really sunny day, but beautiful.
This is the Botanic Gardens that they have in Dunedin. There were lots of different species there. There were cactuses, lots of different plants from all around the world. It was beautiful. The way they set it out was really great. They had this little water fountain. It wasn't actually on the day we went, unfortunately, but it was lovely. It was very ornate. They had this little pond part with a little river, and this was on a walk that we did around the garden, this steep hill, and there's a view of the city. There was actually a house party going on at the time. We could hear it all the way from up there, so yeah, it was like 1 PM as well. Crazy. This is like a little walk through. There's lots of different areas of the gardens from different places all around the world. And this is the aviary part with the birds. Lots of different birds, lots of different species, and they're very colourful. Some are more willing to show their faces than others. Some are a little bit shy, a little bit camera shy. But yeah, the gardens were beautiful, and we picked a perfect day to do it as well.
Moving on, this is Ross Creek Reservoir. A lovely walk, probably the most beautiful walk in Dunedin. Obviously we didn't go on all of them because there are so many, but in the time we're here, this was our favourite one. This is the first time we truly realised how beautiful Dunedin was. We were there for a long time, but at the start we stayed in the south, so we didn't really understand why this was a place that was called the nature capital of the south. But when you go up to the north, you see the hills and you walk around, it truly makes sense. And we got the waterfall here. Once we finished the Ross Creek Trail, there was about a 10-minute on-road section where we just walked up to the next hard walk, which is called Nichols Creek. It leads to this very nice waterfall at the top. It's quite steep, quite narrow, and if it's not good weather, you don't want to walk that trail. But it was a lovely waterfall at the end. Unfortunately, it's just a one-way trail, so once you go up, you have to walk back down the same trail.
I'll go bowling. There's this really nice bowling place by where we were staying, so one night we went to go and check it out, and I did terribly, as I thought I would, because I'm terrible at bowling. I really enjoy it, I'm just really not good at it. We also had some goes on hockey table, air hockey tables, and some snooker and pool, and I failed at all of it.
And that video of the bowling is highly misleading, because I had 2 strikes and a spare in a row. Cara picked up the camera to record me, and I threw it down the side, didn't even make halfway down the bowling alley. It was terrible, but I did much better than I suggested.
As much as I hate to admit it, he is right. Yeah, he was amazing, I was terrible, but we had a good time, so it's fine. So this is the MOTAT Museum. It's the Museum of Transport and Technology. We're in the car room at the moment, and I really liked this room. This is probably my favourite in the museum because I love old cars. There's just something about them, especially, I know Joe likes the Volkswagen Beetle the most, and that's probably my favourite too, apart from I do like the old 1920s cars as well. I just think they're so cool, I don't know, they just have this vibe about them that you just don't get nowadays. Things are so commercialised, and you don't get that handmade care feel. It just has such a, I don't even know how to describe it, but I think you guys can tell what I'm on about. And there were some engines in here as well, kind of demonstrating how it works. There are different types of engines back in those days. It was called a V8 engine, and there's a little sign describing it here. I'm not entirely sure myself what it is, but you guys can pause and read it for yourself if you want to do that. These, yeah, just another go around to the cars really, and some of them are like from the 20s, the 70s. Yeah, I love this room. We move on to the tank room. It was a big, massive, like steam engine. I love steam engines, like those ones that are on like rollers. You see it like fairs and stuff like that. So basically a big, giant version of that. There was actually plastic on the end of it here, and it's because it actually moves, which we didn't know. It probably goes into action at like some point in the week. It wasn't on view there, unfortunately, but it is massive. It's so big. The video doesn't even give it justice of how just massive it is. I found it fascinating. This is the engine room. It has lots of different engines. A lot of them are from the UK actually, which is interesting. New Zealand just took a lot of our ideas, which makes sense because they were part of the Commonwealth, still are, and a lot of their country is built on English descent because we colonised it first basically. But yeah, this is all of the engine stuff. Lots of different types, different sizes. It's very interesting. As you can see there, that one's from Birmingham. A lot of them are English. So we're in the fire room now. There's lots of different types of fire engines from different times. These 60s, maybe 70s latest. This one here is a bigger one. It looks like an American one, which makes sense because it's made by Ford, but it has that very American car feel to it. I feel like a lot of the early cars have that though, that have that old American kind of style. This one is, I don't think it's the first one here. This is like second or third. It's still a very early one. This one's slightly later, I think, probably, which I personally really like. That one that we just saw right on the right there was the earliest one, horse-drawn. Now this is a plane. It was made by a lot of, like, out of a lot of scrap metal by this guy, and he made like a prototype for it. I don't think it ever got made commercially, but this was just a prototype that he had in mind, built in his garage. Thought it was really cool and interesting. So. This is the schoolroom, and it's like an old Victorian school. I actually looked at this world map for quite a while and found out that a lot of it is not quite correct. It was correct how they knew it in 1903, but a lot of the countries are in the wrong place. Like England is way too far down. It's very close to the equator. It would be a lot hotter if it was actually where it says it was on this map. And a lot of countries were just the wrong shape. It was quite interesting, but not quite correct. I was just looking at the graffiti. I thought it was really cool. The earliest one I found was from the 60s. I wanted to find a lot older. I wanted to find some graffiti from like the 1800s, but you know, they probably didn't do graffiti back then because they would have got like caned or something, so unfortunate, but I think it's cool. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video of our time in New Zealand. We have loved every minute of it. Our next video will be a bit more like commentary on the scene kind of thing. We just didn't have the time or the equipment to do it for this one, but our next one will be in Bali. Follow us for some more adventures because there are going to be plenty more coming up.
See you guys.